Welcome back to the PI Show, viewers. It's that time of the show when we've got the mailbag. Now, Kathy, look what I've got on. A bit brighter than you and Harry tonight. I think I'd upstage you guys tonight.
It's pretty
you're a bit dull.
Elegant as usual.
I thought I'd upstage you two guys tonight. Yeah.
Thank you.
Colourful.
Well, we all try, viewers. We do our best to dress ourselves for you, so we make sure that we're trying to be as colourful as possible.
Silk.
But we're all pink. Well, thank you for coming, staying tuned and watching the PI Show. We're now back to doing the mail bag questions. So I'll kick right off with a question from Natalie from Bentley. Dear Tony and Harry, 18 months ago, I slipped on the stairs at my workplace. The stairs are very old, rickety and polished. Everyone comments on how they're an accident waiting to happen. However, I am a very shy person and I had just started my new job when I suffered the fall. I did not report the incident to anyone because I was too intimidated and embarrassed. At the time, I felt a twinge in my back. Over the past year, my injury has become progressively worse. I suffer from extreme pain and have started missing work and can no longer do the things I love. What can I do? Tony, does Natalie have a claim?
Look, the legislation, Accident Compact, puts a positive onus on the worker to report an injury. But if she's very, very fragile type of character, which I think she is, she should go to a doctor, get a certificate and lodge a claim now. And 18 months I don't think is fatal. I think it's... no. Should get over that. And so I think she would be able to convince the Accident Comp Commission that she's got an injury from work and should get no fault benefits. Interestingly, if the injury becomes serious, and it might be because she's not being able to work, she might have a good common law claim because you've got a staircase that's very old, rickety and polished. So I think
common law sounds
pretty good too. So, and plus there's also the lump sum entitlements under 98C. I think you should consult a lawyer because, Natalie, I think you've got a reasonably good claim.
Look, the most important, I think, is what she's told doctors of how her back has been injured over a period of time. I think the longer you leave it, Tony, the more suspicious the insurer is that you've injured yourself somewhere else and you're trying to get back to work or blame work for an injury which occurred somewhere else. So the most critical thing I'd be interested in is the doctor's notes of how she presented to a doctor when she first said she had an injury.
Or did she say to a doctor, I fell on the staircase at work?
Yes.
That's important.
Yes.
That is important.
Yes. So that's consistent with it. Or does she say, look, doc, my back's playing up, I need some medication. Now, if she says that and she doesn't mention work at all, the insurer gets, well, Tony, the insurer gets suspicious.
Yes, I agree.
And the longer it's gone, the more suspicious the insurer gets. And you know all the car accidents where there's a delay in symptoms?
Yeah, it gets very...
Tony? And there's a sort of a car accident on day one and 6 months later they complain about some other body part.
Mm. So the idea is to report...
Well, it depends what you tell a doctor and how you present initially. When you first say it to a doctor, my back is hurting.
That's exactly right.
Yeah, so...
But also, Harry, on the issue of doctors, they're working pretty quick. A lot of them don't write these things down.
I agree.
It does cause problems.
That's very true.
I agree.
There's been plenty of times where plaintiffs will actually go into their doctors and tell them that it's from work and that's not actually written down in notes as well. So, I mean...
It can cause problems down the track. As we know, we've run court cases on that very issue.
So if there's any doctors watching, just make sure your notes are a bit clearer.
and comprehensive.
Document everything.
Yeah,
comprehensive.
Great. Well, I hope that's answered your question, Natalie. Please seek legal advice on that. And we'll move on to the second question that we have for this evening. Now, this is an anonymous question from someone in Sunshine who writes, Dear PI Show, I was recently injured at work in circumstances that I am ashamed and scared to admit. I've been having an affair with a female co-worker for the last 6 months. At lunch, we often slip off together. On one occasion, we went into the ladies' bathroom together. Unfortunately, I cut my buttocks on the old, rusty, sharp water faucet. I didn't think much of it at the time, but subsequently developed septicemia. I have been in and out of hospital for the past 3 months. I think I deserve some compensation, but I don't want to reveal the details of my accident. Is there any way I can make a claim and maintain my privacy? Now, Interesting question, Harry. I'm going to pass this one to you to answer because, I mean, the rights of privacy and raising a claim could potentially cause some kind of problem. But what are your thoughts overall?
Well, look, the first step to lodging a claim is you've got to fill in a claim form, and the claim form asks a number of questions, including how did the injury occur. So you're obliged to answer the question because the insurer's got to be satisfied the injury occurred at work or in the course of employment. So that's the threshold is you've got to disclose how an injury occurred. It can be a very brief description. You don't have to do a comprehensive, but it leads to the employer's then got to say that they agree that the injury occurred at work, or they might say no report of the injury. So then the insurer would investigate the circumstances.
He's already
of the
on the
injury.
back foot because it happened in the female toilets.
Well, it happened at work, and it's prima facie, Tony, it's prima facie a work cover claim with stat benefits.
It is.
It's hard to see how privacy could be.
You got alarm bells ringing simply for the fact that he's in the ladies' toilets. They'd
Yeah,
investigate it further.
Well, look, it's hard to envisage how privacy could be maintained.
I don't know how you
So
could.
if the form's filled out, the employer denies there was an injury at work, the insurer then investigates and takes witness statements, takes a statement from the person lodging the claim.
And if they don't
And from his
accept,
female co-worker.
and if
as
they don't
well.
accept it, he'd probably need to bring in the female co-worker.
Well, there'd be witnesses or something like that. So look, it's hard to envisage how privacy could be maintained. Prima facie, in my opinion, there's a work cover claim. It's a work-related injury. And there's a potential common law, Tony, if the facts are as...
Severe disfigurement of his butt.
Well, as the facts are disclosed. But
It's not a
you
lie.
deal with, Tony, we deal with all sorts of, you know...
We sympathise with
No, no, look,
issues
I'm not laughing at anonymous.
There's you know, affairs at work, how it's affected people. There's bullying. There's all sorts of issues about that. People are fearful of disclosing particular details.
Well, septicemia is a pretty serious condition. I mean, you could die from it. So
Yeah.
he's been in a hospital for 3 months. So it's,
To some
Really, it's
degree,
not-
his employer might already know, though, as well. So, I mean, in terms of he may have disclosed
some
the-
details without...
the hospitalisation.
I think Harry hit the nail on the head. I mean, you know, the employer might just accept it.
Might accept the claim,
yeah.
and
That's
then he'd be paid weekly payments and medical
It's that
expenses.
time of the show again, Harry and Kathy. We've got to... you
It
wanna
goes
wrap it up?
quickly, but
We'd just like to remind the viewers to keep watching us and also to keep writing to us and visit our website at www.theprshow.com. And thank you again for your questions.
Thanks,
keep them
Kathy.
coming
Thanks,
in.
Harry.
Thanks very
That's
much.
right.
Thanks, Kathy,
Thank
for
you.
a interesting insight into Facebook.
Stay tuned and stay safe. Thank you.
Thank you.